Major talent.
Get in gear! Make me forward! Full speed ahead! Full speed ahead! The doctor full speed ahead! Full speed
And then Roman Benjamin Sanders from South Texas.
Full speed ahead! The doctor full speed ahead! PNPs! Undecided voters!
And Carlos Simon, the deputy PNP leader. Carlos Simon. And our leader of the Progressive National Party, Dr. Rufus Join. PNP all the way.
Full speed ahead, the doctor full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC full speed ahead. You get your one man give from the people. Full speed ahead. To be your first term, the people serve. Full speed ahead. To the dawn of a new day. Full speed ahead. Hey, you are the chosen leader, so full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, PNP full speed ahead. Right, full speed ahead, PNP full speed ahead. Awesome man beside it comes highway. Come in. Full speed ahead. All the youth them tell me them trust me. Full speed ahead. All the Rasta man from Peace on the
All right, let us say thanks to our Creator. We ask Brother Forbes to come up and pray for us so we can start on the right track.
Young people, there's nothing wrong with dancing for Jesus. But we can't forget what
Let us pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this gathering together tonight. And as we come, Lord, we present this meeting into your hand and into your care. We pray, Lord, that you'll bless us. We thank you for the showers of blessings that we received today. And we thank you, Lord, that you've brought us here. And as we come and as we listen, we pray a special blessing on all our speakers tonight. Bless the one who is leading. Bless all of us who are gathered as we will turn our hearts and our mind towards the things. Lord, we pray that your blessings will rest upon this rally tonight, and your blessings will also rest upon South Caicos. We bring all our supporters into your hand and into your care. We pray you'll look over us, be kind to us, Lord, and we just present us all into your wonderful hand, and what you do for us tonight, we'll give you the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Now we're going to sing to our beautiful Turks and Caicos, our beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos. We salute this land of ours, and I think it's on the back of the programs which have been handed out. Jamaica is going to come and lead us singing I Ain't Too Sure About It.
Good night, everybody. Can I ask all those that sit to please stand for me, please?
Yep, stand.
Oh, we salute this land of ours, our country we declare, this promised land with its beauties grand, though small it is our own. Turks and Caicos, our country firm and free. Our allegiance, Turks and Caicos, we pledge and we affirm. From the east, west, north, and south, our banks and oceans meet. Surrounding sands and hills of green, our breasts in beauty sweet. Turks and Caicos,
Dr. Conrad Howell wrote our national song. On the program, we now come to the item, opening remarks by the chairperson. And they tell me not to be too long because we've got plenty of people on the stage. And the night is hard gone. All night till morning.
PNP's undecided voters. The conch is crawling. The clock is ticking. Time to start your engine. Start your engine. Pick, lock, lock, got it locked. Pick, lock, lock, got it locked.
You have seen our candidate. You want to know? Well, we're going to have that. They got the flu, but we're going to have it. One or two of them are not here. But you have seen our men and our ladies. We bring them for you to see, and you're going to hear from them. You can examine them. And no matter how you slice it, I say the PNP is still the best choice for the Turks and Caicos. You can dissect it, you can mutate them, you can slice it down, cut it across, you can cut it in half, and you can cut it open. We still are the best.
Amen.
We have the best men and women for the job. And we want you to vote straight down the line. We are still the conch-shell people. Let us not forget that. And in South Caicos, we depend on the conch-shell more than anybody else. Straight down the line. You're going to see the conch-shell on the ballot, and let's mark for that. The lot is passed, and it fell on me to be the chairman for this evening. I thought for a little while about what I could say, and I thought maybe we should resurrect Mac. I told him Mac Carter. That's not possible. So I'm going to improvise a little bit, and I hope I remember correctly. And I can say one of the things Mac used to say. And I want you to listen carefully because we got to repeat this again. And it goes like this: rockabye skipping, because Dr. Ewing on top. When election wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bow breaks, the PDM will fall. And down will come Skip and Harold and the PPP and all.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead.
I said we gotta repeat that with a little bit of policy.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead. You get your one mandate from the people, full speed ahead. To your first term, the people's term, full speed ahead. To the dawn of a new day, full speed ahead. Hey, you are the chosen leader, so full speed ahead.
All right, we can start to begin to hear from the candidate. The at-large candidate. We're here from Royal. PNP. PNP. Let's give Royal land as they come.
Good night, South Caicos. Good night, South Caicos. It's good to be back in South Caicos once again with my PNP people. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really
the dawning of a new day. We in the PNP say, we have a good captain, we have a good chief mate, we got engineers and deckhands, the boat is seaworthy, and we are sailing come the 9th, carrying on to the 10th of November. But we can only do that if we have persons who have bought tickets for their journey. And the only people who can buy the tickets are you, the voters of the Turks and Caicos Islands, and particularly you here in South Caicos. It has been said time and time again that South Caicos is the bedrock of the PNP. That has not changed over the years that I've known PNO and PNP, and this time it should be no different. You should come together. Don't mind the noise of the market, and don't mind people blocking the little bit of traffic there over the side. We know what time it is. We know what time of day it is. And this is our time. This is our time to regenerate the country. This is our time to reinvigorate all of us. This is our time to make sure that we do the things that are right for all Turks and Caicos Islands. We say, and we make no apologies for it, that we are the party that's going to secure for you from the cradle to the grave, from the womb to the tomb, as Gilmore used to like to say. We are that party. We are doing it for you. Why? Because we are able to do so, ladies and gentlemen. Plans can be drawn, documents can be made up, but it is the delivery. It is the delivery of the product that makes a difference. And we say we here in the PNP have the team that can deliver for all of you. We say this team made up collectively, but in two parts. The two parts are this. We have the 10 constituency persons, and then we have the enlarged candidate. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, look at what the enlarged candidates are. All the enlarged candidates are made up of persons who have been in government before, who have steered the ship before, except that we have a new leader. And why we have a new leader? Because we want to steer the ship in a direction with new hands on the tiller. And the new hands will make sure that we reach the port safely. Ladies and gentlemen, a good mixture of young and old. Because people will say that Norman and I are the two oldest in this camp. We make no apologies for that. I didn't decide which day I was going to be born, and I can decide which day I'm going to be dead. But as long as there's breath in my body, as long as I can stand on my 2 feet and open that big mouth of mine, I am going to be supporting the PNP. And one thing for sure, we in the PNP got things together. And ladies and gentlemen, we are sure that you understand the gravity of the situation that we find ourselves in. You understand that for the last 3 years, this interim administration has been knocking us about, particularly us in the PNP. We can see that they have no respect for Turks and Caicos Islanders generally, but I tell you, they have it hard for us in the PNP. So I'm telling you, all you people under the sound of my voice, do it resoundingly. Make no mistake about it. Some say 13-2, some say 15-0, but however the numbers permutate or computate, we must do it big. Because we don't want to leave anything to chance. We want to send a clear message to the British, to the PDM, to the PPP, or whoever else they come with. We are going to move this country
We are going to move it one program at a time because we want to empower you one person at a time. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how you got to vote. In South Texas in particular, your first vote must be for Norman Sanders Sr. That is the yellow man that you've been voting for years and years and years. He has delivered for you, the people of South Texas. And then you come to the big, magnificent five. And I'll stand for you, and as they say, those persons are on the green paper. And you know, it's funny because most people look at green and they come say, oh, that's money. That's your money candidate. The five of those, starting with first our leader, Dr. Rufus Ewing. Mark your axe against the shell, against that name. The second name must be the deputy leader, who is none other than Mr. Simons QC. He is the touchdown man. Then we have CW Mizik. He is the man who is going to tell you how the economic plan is put together, because we cannot move this country unless the economics are right. And then, of course, you have Major, Wayne Major Garland. He is the tourism man, because we know that tourism is upon that leg that we build this country. That's four. You got one more, and I can tell you, Jack can sing for supper. And if you don't give me now, I cry like a baby. So you wind up with your last person on that ballot is Royal Robinson. And make no mistake about it, do not vote 6 times on that ballot. You only can vote 5 times. Make sure you got your 5 axes in a row. Make sure it's touched to the shell and the shell only. So ladies and gentlemen, come November 9th, what you gonna do? We're going full speed ahead. We're gonna vote. We are gonna vote for PNP straight down the line. PNP, 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 PNP all the way. Good night, good night.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Earl. Thank you. The British believe we're stupid. I say the British believe that we are stupid.
Different. You gotta show them different.
The things they've been doing to us since the British took over, I think 3 years ago, all we've been doing is going downhill. Our rights trampled upon. We have not heard from the people they say would represent us. When the former governor came, he said that these people on the forum and the council would come and listen to us. Nobody has come. Not one has listened to us. And they seem to be in cahoots with the British government. We need to send them a clear message and vote PNP straight down the line. We're now going to hear from George Lippman, one of our new blood, and you need new blood. The old folks moving off the stage, and the new people coming up. We gotta give them our support. We need new blood, young blood. PNP! Kind of like that song. Good night, South Takers.
Good Good night.
I'm pleased to report to you tonight that Brentwood is on lock.
Full speed ahead, doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead.
I'll be even more pleased to know that Tuscaloosa is on lock.
Full speed ahead, full speed ahead. Right, full speed ahead, full speed ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want more jobs, if you want better paying jobs, vote PNP. If you want more scholarships, vote PNP. If you want a vibrant tourism industry in South Caicos, what you gonna do? Vote PNP. If you're sick and sick of being tired, and you're ready to get rid of the British interim administration, what are you gonna do? Vote PNP. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want an increase in your minimum wage, what are you gonna do? Vote PNP. If you want your 10% back, what are you gonna do? Vote PNP. Full speed ahead. And if you want your gratuity back that the British took away from you unjustly, vote PNP. Now, I'm not going to take much of your time. I'm here to endorse Mr. Sanders. And as I can see already, South Caicos is on lock. So with that said, I will allow the other candidates to make their contribution. South Caicos, good night, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you very much.
PNP's undecided voters. The conch is crawling. The clock is ticking. Time to start your engine. Start your engine. Tick tock, tock, tick.
George said we got Brentwood covered. Brentwood locked on tight. And I'm told we had a wonderful meeting over there last night. A wonderful meeting. Now we're going to have Rex. Rex, I tell you, belongs to Hyacinth and Tom. I ain't sure I know Rex, but yeah.
The conch is crawling. The clock is ticking. Time to start your engine. Start your engine. Tick tock, tock, tick tock.
PNP! PNP! Who got the show? Who got the show? Who got the show?
Don't get in here.
Okay. Settle down. Good night, Big South. I am here to endorse and give my support to NB. A South Caicos man, a Big South man, a man who has delivered for you every single time. Has he delivered for you? Come on, he can do better than that. This man is a mainstay in the political arena. We need him. This country needs him. This country needs him. We need him for jobs. We need him for security. We need him for immigration. And by God, South Caicos, you need him. You can't go to the other side. You don't know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get with him. Do you know what you're going to get with him? Do you know? Are you sure? All right, MB, are you ready?
Ready!
Are you sure?
Ready!
And so Cake is ready.
Cupcake is ready!
So Cake, are you ready? Red Turk said they're ready. Provo said they're ready. As a matter of fact, Akira said it's a what? It's a lock. No. Hold on. Provo said it's a touchdown. Now, before we get there, what we need is you PNPs and undecideds is to go and then knock on doors for Mr. NB. For all your candidates, knock on doors. And in case you forget some of the things the PNP has done over the years, let me remind you. First, we have spent over $20 million on scholarships. Do you know how much the PNP spent? Yes. $800,000. They don't care about education. And we made no apology for it, George said. We made no apology for it. Don't forget, a PNP government widened this economy, broadened this economy to the tune of over $1 billion. Do you want that again? Are you sure? Then go and knock on doors for us. Get it done. I love you. So Cakes, I love you. God bless you, and good night.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rex. Some of these candidates I'm seeing for the first time, even though I know their parents. It means that I gotta be getting old. Yes. Somebody said we all getting old together. Not only me. All right. We're going to hear from Akira now. I told you Akira used to be the bus. Mary girl.
I just want to say how excited I am to be on this stage tonight in Conch Ground. As many of you know, my roots are from South Caucus. My Grammy, affectionately known as Mary Durham or Auntie Mary by a lot of you, know that I used to walk up and down this street, buy bread from Miss Jacqueline, jump off Johnson Dock, go down to the old field and the Anglican Church at St. George. And I just want to say that I'm so excited to be here tonight. As many of you know, my grandmother was a staunch PNP. Next to Jesus on her wall was NBS Saunders. And we always knew Norman, and we always knew associated South Caucus with Norman, the Big South, because he's the man for the job. So it's my pleasure tonight to be here with my South Caucus people to endorse Norman Saunders, the Honorable Norman Saunders. I'm so excited for the plans that we have as a PNP party for South Caucus. Norman is the man to do the job. Get the job done. Our plans for Turks and Caicos are equally as impressive as South Caucus, but I'll leave that for Honorable Norman to come and speak to you tonight. I just want to say we got South Caucus on lock. We got Grand Turk on lock. We got all of Provo on lock. North Caucus.
I'm getting a bottle of water from my wife. So, hey, and I'm sure the policeman taking note. All right. We got some more new blood from the bike. Portia Stubbs Smith. And I nearly called the wrong name.
It is a pleasure to be in South Caicos tonight, endorsing the Honorable. Listen, I want the PDMs to get this well. Norman B. Saunders. And in the English language we use NB to say what? Note well. Note well, PDM. This is a PNP stronghold, and ain't nothing stopping us now. Because PNP is on the move still. Like my fellow running mates that came before me said, promo is unlocked, but the bite is wrapped tight. The bite is wrapped tight. Ain't nothing changing in the bite. Nothing. So, Caicos, I just want to remind you that progress is our first name. And anything you can think about that we haven't said here tonight on this stage, even in your dream, when you dream and say, well, they didn't say that, don't worry about a thing. The Progressive National Party has that already covered. And like our QC said, it's a touchdown. And so I just want to say I endorse this message. All about every Saunders.
Fortunately, nothing is stopping us now. Election, especially this election, is very serious. Our very being as Turks and Caicos Islanders is at stake. We have to make our commitment. I tell you, the British trying to put scab over our eyes. I told the government when he comes, we went to the same schools in England. So you got no more sense than us. We went to the same law schools. We went to Oxford and Cambridge and Gray's Inn and all the other inns, Mr. Simon. So I also tell them we can think too. And we do not want them deciding everything for us. They decided that a 16-year-old boy can have sex with another 16-year-old boy. And they're trying to ram that down our throats. I appeal to all our consciences. I appeal to all our preachers in South Caicos to follow the suit of our proper pastors. And let us register the fact that we do not want that. And they're trying to hide it under some of the other good things. They're trying to hide it under there. I asked him who made the law that a man can marry a man in the Turks and Caicos. You know what his answer was to me? He does not know. And you know that answer couldn't be true. Yeah. We have to stand up for something. Otherwise we're going to fall down for anything. And we must stick together. The fight ahead, it will just begin after the election. That's why we need to vote straight down the line. Now we're going to hear from another stalwart and the former Premier, Honorable C. Washington Music Experience AIDS.
The conch is crawling.
And all of the wine, the better.
The clock is ticking. Time to start your engine. Your engine. Tick tock, tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tock, tick tock. President, 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 president. Don't get in here. Make it forward. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. The doctor full
Good night, South Caicos.
Good night.
Let me get my yellow watch on.
Okay. They told me now they have me on a timer. So I'm going to be very brief tonight. Suffice it to say that I am proud to be in South Caicos. And as far as I can see, I see yellow. South Caicos, this is no time to change experience for inexperience. You have a man that is tried and true, a man who's gone through the furnace and has come on the other side as pure gold. And tonight, we're all here to support Norman Saunders. Now, I want you've heard what the other candidates have to say. Tonight, South Caicos, I want you to support Norman Saunders. If you want change, if you want real change, if you want to help the Progressive National Party to take back control of our destiny and lead this country to a higher ground, then you must support Norman Saunders. It is time for us to unite behind our ideals and for us to make sure that this is the last time we have people who don't share our ideals to come in this country and divide us. We must hang together or history will repeat itself and we will hang apart as we are now doing. We will send a strong message to Britain that they might have tried to define us, but we have defied them. PNP, we must defy them. Come November 9, we must set the stage to determine our economic and our political destiny. And I can tell you, the Progressive National Party has the plan to do just that. I am not going to go through all of them with you tonight, but suffice it to say that plans, good plans, lead to good decisions, and good decisions lead to good results. And you've seen some of the plans that we have put into place that have resulted in good decisions. Every institution in this country, every major institution in this country that has empowered you, the people of these islands, have been put in place by the Progressive National Party. Everyone, I dare you to talk back to me. There are 15 candidates in this election, 10 locally and 5 at large. And we have a 15-point economic policy that will revitalize and develop these islands. I am not going to give them to you tonight. Mr. Saunders will tell you the ones that are going to impact you in South Caicos. I just want to say tonight that I am proud to be associated with my colleagues. I am proud to be associated with Dr. Ewing. I want you to support him. I want you to encourage him. He is a bright young man. He's a fast learner. He is committed. And I am convinced, I am persuaded that he is good for this country and he will do all of us proud. South Caicos, I want to promise you, we'll put emphasis on jobs. I see too many young people in these islands, in this island, walking around without anything to do. I've seen too many of our young people in prison. We're going to create jobs and opportunities.
I am tired of seeing young people in prison. We want to create a life from prison to a life of promise. That is going to happen under Progressive National Party. You will see in the not too distant future that you will be able to jump in a car in South Caicos and drive all the way to Sandy Point. South Caicos, you will see under Progressive National Party a major port and a major cruise ship port in South Caicos.
Full speed ahead, full speed ahead. Right. Full speed ahead, full speed ahead.
Like Baba Dan say, I'm going to talk some and leave some. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight, thank you for coming. I love you, and I promise you, we will do you proud. God bless you, South Caicos. Vote for all of your PNP candidates. Good night.
Thank you very much, Wesley. Thank you very much. We need to learn our ballot paper. See whose names are on it. Look for the council and your PNP candidate. You can't tell nobody else. PNP straight down the line. We're going to call the young lady who led us in the singing, "We Love This Land of Ours." She's going to come and share a few words with us. Why she said we're going to have jobs and opportunities. That you make her come.
Tonight, let me first apologize to the people of South Caicos, as I had made an announcement earlier that I was interested in running as a candidate for South Caicos for this great party in this election. However, I made a decision not because I'm afraid, because I'm not, and not because I can't handle the job, because I can. But I decided not to because I wanted to sit back and observe how this whole thing operates and to work closely with my party so that I will be better able to serve you. However, I can say that during the next 4 years, I will be front and center as the candidate for South Caicos. With that said, I am asking every PNP, every undecided voter, every PDM to throw your full support behind Mr. Norman Sanders. My task tonight is to speak directly to the youth of South Caicos, as I was once a youth in this community of South Caicos. I am familiar with the thoughts, struggles, depression, and challenges that we face here in South Caicos as youth. I remember graduating from the Marjorie Mason High School, pregnant, broken, and disappointed. Broken and disappointed because at that time we had a failed government, the PDM at that time, and they were totally out of touch with the reality of our situations in South Caicos, and it simply looked as though everyone had forgotten about us. My original plan was not to be pregnant at that age, but to graduate high school and go off to college. This is also what my family had wanted for me. Although pregnant, I graduated with over 9 CXC passes at the time. The PDM had a policy where you required 5 CXC passes or more to qualify for a scholarship. I made several applications year after year, and I was ignored. I then decided to see the Minister of Education to beg for an opportunity for a scholarship, only to be told that I should apply to Scotiabank for a student loan. There is no words to describe to you how I felt knowing that so many other students were off to college with less qualifications than myself.
think to myself that it was because I was a young mother. It could have been that because I was from a PNP town. It could have been that my family was predominantly PNP, or maybe it was just I was a Caucus girl. This became very obvious to me. And as the majority of the students at that time during the PDM were predominantly PDM students and from Grand Turk. In 2003, a confused young voter, I decided to listen to all the issues with both political parties, the PNP and the PDM. Because of the plans that I heard from the PNP, I decided that I am going to be a PNP and I am going to put my X for the PNP, and I never regretted it one day of my life. We won the government that year. We won the government that year, and it was a sweet victory and a breath of fresh air to many. Today, I stand before you as living testimony of what the PNP government has done for me and hundreds of others. I and PNP, PDM, PPP, PNO, NDA, and the teacup, all of us, we all benefited from a scholarship under the PNP government. I can proudly say that I am a holder of a master's degree. I am empowered, I am motivated, I am super confident in myself. Now, I just ask you for a moment to look around South Caicos. There's still a great deal of work to be done. But look around. We have paved roads, PNP. Our new clinic, PNP. Our schools, PNP. Our community center, PNP. The wellness center, PNP. Increased pension for the old, PNP. Increased salaries, PNP. Our airport, although it's on hold, PNP. The development of our youth and sports department, PNP. Scholarships, PNP. Port Authority, PNP. Jobs. Improvement to our disabled center, PNP. So now I ask you to just ask yourself for a moment, what has the PDM done? Absolutely nothing. Young people of South Caicos, we are faced with some serious times ahead with our generation. We cannot afford to have equal opportunity to our jobs, skilled or unskilled. During these times, we have no scholarships. That's on a standstill. We have no opportunities to advance our in sports. And recently, we can engage in sex at 16 or even homosexuality activities. Opportunities for advancement in our community proposed by the PNP government was shut down by the interim administration, such as the completion of our airport terminal, lowered welfare subsistence, a halt on our lobster farming deal, no crown land, increased taxation, job cuts, forced into retirement. All this thanks to the interim administration and its advisors, and we all know in South Caicos who was a part of that. South Caicos, tonight I beg you to elect a competent government with a vision for our people, your rights and fight for our generation. Come November 9th, PNP is the only way to the dawn of a new day. I ask you to put your X's straight down the line. In your constituency, Norman Sanders, your 5 at-large seats, Dr. Rufus Ewing, Carlos Simon QC, Washington Missick, Wayne Garland, and Royal Robinson. I hope that everyone is listening to me, including the little ones. Please vote PNP November 9th, all the way, all the time. So Texas, I thank you and I love you. Right.
Full speed ahead. We are from Jamaica. And then we bring our new blood. In Jamaica, we can see the future. Jamaica said PNP gave her an opportunity, and she made the most of it. And she got a master's degree. Hey, can you hear all that talking she doing, all that gab she got? She going right back down the jury. But education is the key. We need to educate our young people so they can take their rightful places in the development of our country. The British cut that off, and they use us to cut it off. They use the people of the interim administration to cut it off. They use them to cut it off, and I say do not vote for any of them. I tell the governor that he tell me that we're free to vote for whomsoever we will. True. That's true. He didn't lie that time. PNP is the only way to this dawn of this new day. And take note of what Jamaica say. Okay, we're gonna have Adrian Williams.
Good evening, Soul Kickers. Good evening. My name is Adrian Williams, and I will be the next MP for Yellow Hills. Make no mistake about it. See, this party, the PNP party, we are a party of progress. We already planning for the future. You already got your candidate for South Vegas for next election, you see? Make no mistake about it, Jamaica. I got you, baby, don't worry. You just look at this party. Compare this party to what you have on the other side and the little that you have with the other set, and tell me what you get. Right. Dr. Rufus Ewing, QC Carlos Simon. I think they're going to attorney too, or she never practiced law. Wait, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to say it on the mic. This party is the party for the Turks and Caicos. This party is the party for the future. And when this team, this 15, this Turks and Caicos Islands will go into the future, and we will deliver the Turks and Caicos to where we want to be.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead.
Our leader, Dr. Rufus Ewing,
And this team, we have a plan for the Turks and Caicos Islands that each and every one of you in the Big South and in the entire Turks and Caicos Islands will be proud of.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead.
Make no mistake about this. This team, this dream team, we are going to take our country to a place that where when we make a decision, it is final. So tonight, I'm here to endorse Mr. Norman Sanders. I'm here to endorse Mr. Norman Sanders for the Big South, and no doubt this is the only choice for South Caicos. I think they said earlier that the interim administration was making decisions for us. That's how it goes. The PDM interim administration was making decisions for us. That's how it goes. Make no mistake about it. We know the wolf in sheep clothing. That's all right. We here to fix that this night. Thank you. I love you. November 9th, Norman Sanders and the entire 15 straight down the line. I love you. Good night.
Hello? Full speed ahead. Hello. Let's go. We're now going to hear from Clay Ewing. And Clay used to be the bouncer for the PNP. You ready?
Peace Harbor. I'm a little horse tonight. But I want to say, oh, South Caicos, it gives me great pleasure to be here in an island that I call my second home. I have a lot of classmates and former teachers out there. But I'm here tonight to endorse Mr. Norman Benjamin Sanders. And like Jamaica said, the PNP party is a party for all the people, all of the time. And not some of the people, some of the time. She made mention that we does things to empower all of the children of the Turks and Caicos, all of the citizens of the Turks and Caicos. And Norman is a man that believed in South Caicos. He believed in the East Harbonians. And he is a South Caicos man all of the time, not some of the time. And I have no doubt that Norman is the man that will take South Caicos where it needs to be taken in the next 4 years. So tonight, I'm not going to be long. I'm just here to say that I am in agreement with Norman Benjamin Sanders and his plans for East Harbor. So from Sail Rock to Trenchtown, Helltown, the Gulf, Oldfield, vote Norman Benjamin Sanders and the 5 at large, PNP, straight down the line, all the time. Thank you and good night.
Now we're going to hear from Greg. I told the break us South Caicos Roots right at the end. Bruce and Charlie Girl from Richard Hill. Good night, South Caicos. PNP! I can't hear you, PNP! If you love the PNP, let me hear you say PNP! It is so good to be in my hometown. This is my hometown, South Caicos. All right? This is where I found my bride, my pearl. South Caicos, that is true. South Caicos has been good to me. And that's why the PNP is always going to be good to South Caicos. If you look around, of course, like Jamaica said,
you can see the progress that the PNP government has brought to Salt Acres. And so I am here tonight to endorse Honorable Norman Saunders. You see, I had the opportunity to work along with Mr. Saunders. In Salt Acres, we need you to bring him back into the House of Assembly because the country needs him. The experience, the knowledge, we need him. The hard work. So I want you on November 9th, vote for all of our at-large candidates. Vote straight down the line, Norman Saunders. I love you, and I'm going to keep it short. Vote PNP. PNP all the way!
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead. You get your one man gate from the people. Full speed ahead. To your first term, the people serve. Full speed ahead. To the dawn of a new day. Full speed ahead. Hey, you are the chosen leader, sir. Full speed ahead.
Now we have another at-large candidate, and Wayne Major Darwin. An at-large candidate, 185. Look for your clamshell on the ballot paper. Mark your X within the box. Do not go outside. Don't mark it anywhere else. Don't spoil any ballot. That's very, very important. Come in. Here you go, Major.
Now listen, what kind of noise is this? I was in Grand Truck last night, and they made plenty noise. And they tell me South people got the biggest mouth. But I can't hear you. PNP! You can do better than that. PNP! Say it loud and say it proud, baby. You ain't got nothing to be afraid of. I'm in town tonight. So you can tell anybody, Doc, you know, as a matter of fact, you know what I would need you to do? Send Mr. Rick Todd a Facebook request for me. Because I want him to see what's going on down in South Acres. That him and his gang of bandits can't stop the show down here.
Full speed
There ain't
ahead.
no way.
Full speed ahead.
We can do what we do. Now I'm looking in the crowd tonight and I see a lot of my salty people. Salty in the house.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead.
See, SC for Salty and SC for South Acres. So SC and all of us voting PNP, baby. Make no mistake about it, straight down the line. We ain't got no time to play. Serious business. Now we had a really great week. Thursday night we were in Middle Caucus. Great crowd, full support, and I can tell you because we were there. So make no mistake about it, middle is on lock. And when I say lock, I spell it at L-O-K-K. Lock. Yeah! No time to play. Last night we were in Grand Truck South. Don't mind what they tell you how they fool. The Rex got that thing, L-O-K-K. Grand Truck South. And tonight we're in South Caucus. South has been a very, very important seat for us in the PNP. Been very, very good to the PNP. As a matter of fact, our first leader, Andy Saunders, from South Acres. Great man. Now, I got a little story to tell you. After the meeting in Grand Truck last night, I saw Doc, and Doc was looking a little perplexed. So I said, Doc, what the problem is? So he said, don't worry, that's all right, man. I can fix that tomorrow. As we were coming down on the plane this morning, he tell me, somebody tell him, say, South Acres going blue. I said, Doc, somebody tell you what? Say, yeah, man. Say, somebody say South Acres going blue. So first thing this morning, he got up and he was on the plane, coming out because he said he got to fix this and see this for himself. So I said, Doc, Ben Miller said, you gonna call Norman? I said, I gotta see this for myself. I want to see what's going on for myself. So we had the time today and we walk around and talk to most of the people in South Acres, as a matter of fact. And he said, boy, let me tell you something. the British government and the PDM is a whole bunch of liars. Dogs in one big pen. South ain't no problem. You see, but the real story behind this goes to show to the leadership of the man. You see, because he wants to see for himself. He wants to make sure. You understand? He wants to make sure that South Caucus is on lock. And from the crowd that I see here tonight, I have none whatsoever, no doubt whatsoever, that South Caucus you can do what you always do and vote PNP.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead.
See, but tonight is about the yellow man. The yellow man, Mr. Sanders. See, this is an original for the PNP. This is a man who started it all and is still around with us. He has gave his life to this great party of ours. From 1976 to the now. From 1967, what she just told me. George, don't call my age, boy. 1967, Mr. Sanders, 1967. Most of us wasn't even born yet, including Skibbo. But Mr. Sanders, tonight, me being the only major in this party, what I'm going to do, I'm going to anoint you the candidate for life for PNP, and come November 12th, you will do what you always do and deliver for us the seat in South Caucus. So make no mistake about it. You're the man.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead.
Now quickly, just before I go, I just want to do a quick synopsis of both candidates for South Caucus. Now we have on the other side, but you don't have to worry about, Miss Eves Cox. And I like Eves. I have a lot of time and respect for Eves. I think she's, one of those persons that have made significant strides in education, becoming an accountant some time ago. Smart girl, articulate. But you see, in politics, it takes more than smarts in education. You understand? You gotta have that personal pride and passion for service. So you gotta have that willingness to go the extra mile to look out for every one of your citizenry. So you gotta have that special touch, that charisma, to speak with people, not to be afraid to sit down in their houses, not to be afraid to drink water from the well. You see, what you have here in South Caucus is Mr. Sanders. See, this is a man who spent his life here in South Caucus. When Mr. Sanders come to Provo, I remember when we did the symposium last week, Saturday, and he had his contribution to make. And shortly after that, bush cracking, man going a long time, he gotta get back to South Caucus. See, what it shows is that this is a man who have that kind of pride and passion for his people. He will spend his life trying to uplift and do things for South Caucus. He live here. He don't come here on the weekends. He is here from Sunday to Saturday, 24 hours a day, looking around, working for you, the people of South Caucus. So what I want you to do is come November 9th. Come November 9th. See, and I think South Caucus have the least amount of votes. So I think by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, by 1 o'clock, Kira? See, Akira was smarter than me, so she's the attorney. So Akira said she won this by 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, we want to hear NB got South on lock and is the winner for South Caucus. Now there's also 5 others of us. Dr. Collis, myself, and Royal. And it's very important that you guys vote for us straight down the line as well. Straight down the line. So tonight's South Caucus is about NB. I'm not going to be any longer. It's Mr. Sanders night. All right, so PNP, 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 Thank you, South Cakers. I love you.
Get in here! Make me forward! Full speed ahead! Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead! Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead!
Full speed ahead. Now we're coming down to the nitty-gritty. I told you we need to educate our people. That will be a priority in the PNP platform. Education is the key. If we're educated, we can think for ourselves, and nobody can push any scruples down our throats. And that's the kind of people we want. Now we're going to call Piper to the stand to introduce the man of the hour, Norman Benjamin Garnet Sanders, who will outline for us his vision for the Big South and for the beautiful by nature South and Quakers Island.
How we doing, South Cakers? Let me hear my PNP people. Look at the yellow. From one yellow man to another yellow man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from South Cakers and around the Turks and Caicos Islands who's listening via 91.5 FM. For those of you who couldn't be here, you would get an opportunity to see the energy that the people of South Caicos is bringing to the PNP once again. And I consider myself to be a very lucky individual, lucky enough to have had the opportunity to get political training from someone who was in the business long before they was even thinking of making me. Ed wasn't even thinking of checking Ina then. Be that as it may, whenever I have an opportunity to do anything for the PNP, I'm always there. And I count this opportunity to introduce the Honorable Norman Sanders to the people of South Caicos as a great opportunity. I am humbled tonight, Norman, to be able to do so. I am humbled because you asked me, and I am so grateful for you to think of me to take such a worthy task. But before I introduce you to Norman, I have to touch on a couple of things. This PNP party is asking you to vote for Norman and the 5 at-large candidates on November 9th.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead.
And it is only normal and fair to ask yourself the question, why should you vote for the PNP? The only reason is simple, because the PNP is the only party that delivers for the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Jamaica touched on it and she did a wonderful job. It is evident here in South Caicos. We have changed the people's lives for the better forever. The PDM has never done anything with South Caicos, and they wouldn't do it. As a matter of fact, the good that we do for South Caicos, the two PDMs, East Cox and Charlotte right there, overdone it. None than the PNP hire the people. A simple job. You see, we live in Provo, and we take things for granted sometimes. And Norman, I remember you came up with a project to hire some people. It was 5 guys, Sweet Cakes, Uncle Stanley, the list go on and on. There's 3 others. Shanroy, to clean the drain, because the drainage system is very important to the island of South Caicos. For those of you who don't understand it, the water comes in the canal from the solar industry. It flows from the south and it goes to the sun and out to the airport. And
These things has to be maintained in order to properly drain the island when there is heavy rains, in particular during the hurricane season. And Norman said that we have to create a project called a drainage project. And the PNP government put it in the budget and hired them. And as soon as these cocks went to the advisory council on Charlene Cartwright, they fired the people. So I have to say, that is a reason why you should vote for the PNP in Norman so they can rehire you. The PNP has educated every child in South Caicos, regardless of their political affiliation, regardless of where they stand politically. The PNP made a decision for all of the islands, but because we were so small in South Caicos, every child was able to get a scholarship. And as soon as the PDM come in, and I gotta say the PDM because interim administration is the PDM, that's that. And that is another reason why you gotta vote for Norman and the PNP, and you can't vote for Eads and Charlene and skip it now. You can't do it. One more thing. The PNP start the airport project. Father and sons, Colin Williams was the contractor. Father and sons and daughters, Colin and Noreen and Jackie, all in one family, one company. The airport was built fine, going ahead. And as soon as the PDM and the interim administration come in, Charlene Cartwright and Eads Cox, they stopped the construction of the airport. But I'm going to tell you that Norman Sanders, Dr. Rufus Join and Carlos Simons QC and the team going to start the airport again, and we're going to bring that to South Caicos. And that is another reason why you should vote for the PNP on November 9th. Here's the last one, and that's for the people of South Caicos. We all grew up in South Caicos. There was one plant to my left, Los Cox. There was one shop to my right, one gas station. And the reason why I'm saying that, and we got to be very specific about things, is that there's been a legacy of the Cox family wanting to enter politics. And the South Caicos people have rejected them every time, and I'm asking you to reject them again and vote for Norman Sanders. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so confident that you are going to vote resoundingly for Norman Sanders, Dr. Rufus Join, Carlos Simons, QC and the team on November 9th, because we got to return South Caicos back to prosperity. We've got to bring the country back to prosperity. We've got to go back on the right direction. And the only way to do so is to vote for these fine gentlemen and ladies so that they could look after your children's future. Because I can tell you, you don't want to put your children in the house with stupid Sam. And nasty. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Honorable Norman Sanders for South Caicos.
Hello. I am a talking boy. I am a sweet in the country. I am a
I am here with my colleagues, led by Dr. Rufus Ewing, Carlos Simons QC, C. Washington Missick,
Royal Robinson, Ben Garland, and you have George Lightburn, Rax Swan, Akira Mizik, Sister Mary's daughter from South Caicos. She is also a practicing lawyer. Portia Stubbs Smith. We had Jamaica, and I'll talk about Jamaica in a minute. We had Adrian Williams, Clay Ewing, Greg Lightburn. Jamaica told you the truth. Jamaica had every intention of being the candidate for South Caicos in this election. She wrote to the party. She wrote to me when I was chairman of the party. And we tried very hard, the chairman and now chairman, and myself, to reach Jamaica prior to the deadline, because she was the only person that had written in. At the end, I think it was the last day, we found out Jamaica had broken her leg, but deliberately, I guess, she didn't say anything. So we interpreted her intentions. Seems as if we interpreted her intentions right. But you heard Jamaica for yourself tonight, and I encourage you to support this party, and it is very likely she may be the next PNP candidate for South Caicos. I promise you sincerely that I have no intention of running again, no matter what happens. I expect the Progressive National Party to win this election. And when the PNP wins, the PNP will solidly establish itself, will show the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands that the PNP is the right party for this country, that the people have placed their confidence in the PNP. And then I can easily ease out to the person of your choice. Now, South Caicos, last time we had a meeting, I brought to your attention, as so many of the speakers tonight have done, about the good things, the many good things that the PNP has done for South Caicos, and the reason why you shouldn't even be thinking for 1 second on anybody in the PDM side. You should be thinking solely of South Caicos, your roads, your clinic, your wellness center, your airport terminal, your community centers, all the scholarships, all the jobs. When you think of that, as I told you, God would punish you if you stop for a moment to think of anybody on the side of the PDM. So tonight, I want to tell you about the things that is going to move South Caicos forward. Continue to replace the things that the PDM and the interim administration have destroyed. How are we going to replace it? And the first thing South Caicos needs is jobs. We need jobs. We need jobs for all the people that the interim administration laid off, and those who have left school, those who are in Provo and want to come back home, and those who are unemployed in South Caicos. And so the first thing we found out to return jobs to South Caicos is to get that airport terminal completed. And so soon after the election is over, the PNP government will be paying attention to finding the funds to complete the South Caicos Airport Terminal. When the terminal is completed, East Bay Hotel is ready for opening. They told us that they will open in April. Their plans are to open in April. And as soon as it is ready, the terminal is finished, they are going to open that hotel. They're going to bring in flights directly from Canada into South Caicos, and that hotel is going to provide a lot of jobs for people of South Caicos who now need those jobs. The hotel is going to need people to work in the kitchen, and they're going to need people to make up the beds, and it's going to need people to serve in the dining room. They're going to need people out in the yard, keeping the surroundings clean, keeping the trees beautiful. And then as a spin-off from that, people, the restaurant, this one restaurant in town will be loaded with people. There will probably be a need for maybe 2 other restaurants, because the guests up there are going to want to eat in town sometimes. They're going to want people to take them out on fishing trips and sightseeing trips. And we have a lot of beautiful keys.
Fish Key, Ambergris Key, East Caicos, all the keys in between South and East. So there's going to be a lot of work as an offspring from that hotel opening up. Yeah! So you got to vote for the PNP to get that hotel opened up, to get the airport finished, and create some jobs for your people. The interim administration laid a lot of people off. The interim administration cut civil servants by 10%. And you have been crying for your 10%. You have been crying for your jobs. The PNP is going to try and restore those jobs as quickly as possible after the election, so you have to vote for the PNP. And then, this Kangran Bay Area, look at it. And it's always been the PNP who have been fixing the Kangran Bay Area for the fishermen. You need nice places for your boats to tie up, to anchor, to hold them when they need fixing. The PNP will continue beautifying this Kangran Bay Area until it's a beautiful place, and the fishermen will be proud of a place where they can put their boats. The PNP is going to do that for you. Yeah! Last time when Mr. Washington Mizik was here, when we had our meeting at Cairns Place, he talked about the old harbor plans for the trucks in Caicos Island. And in that plan, South Caicos was recommended to be the main port for the trucks in Caicos Island. Yeah! That plan was shelved. But if the trucks in Caicos is to grow in the way the PNP wants it to grow, that harbor is going to be necessary. And you can depend on your PNP administration to put that harbor in South Caicos. The PNP will never want it here. Never in God's life would they want it here. So you need to vote for the PNP. I was listening, I think on 2 occasions, to the PDM meetings, one in South Caicos and one in Grand Turk. And when you hear them talk about the things the PDM did, you think the PDM created the heaven, the earth, and everything on it. Everything that the PNP has done over the years, PDM has taken claim for it. And that is why I always believe that the PDM believe that people are stupid, that people don't think. When they talk, they figure you cut your brains off, you know you're going to switch. So when the PDM start talking, you switch your brain off, and you only can hear what the PDM is saying. And you can't think no more. Because they're stupid, they think you're stupid. I heard my opponent saying that, I think Ruth Blackburn asked a question, why you running, what you gonna do for South Caicos? She said, well, she is running because South Caicos needs a change. That is it. You don't leave 100 for 80. You don't leave 100 for 85. But the bottom line is this. South Caicos made a change in 1999. I don't know if she remembers that. In 1999, the PNP gave the PDM a seat in South Caicos. And as far as I can remember, if there is anybody on the PDM side who would have liked to do something for South Caicos, to South Caicos for the PNP, because the PNP realized it was a waste of time to support the PDM. The PDM, as Jamaica told you, you know where the interest is. You know where the interest lies. They never think about South Caicos. You know, they would spend all the money everywhere else. And then they'll do something, they will spend $1,000 in South Caicos and then act. They give you the change at the bottom of the pocket and make you think that they've done something good for you. We must say to the PDM that we have a better sense than that. We are not as stupid as that, and we're not going to fall for their dirty loader and tricks at any time. Before I move on, I want to touch on the young people. Because the young people, I believe they think because of my age, even though they know I can run just as much as they can run. But because of my age, and put a little bit of grayish stand on my hair, that we don't know anything about young people. I would like to let the young people know,
And I was a sportsman at one point in my life. I was the first tennis champion for the Turks and Caicos Islands. We're the first singles and the first doubles champion. As a cricketer, I took the bowling prize twice. In 1960, when I was 16, 17 years old, I went to Nassau and I got the bowling prize in cricket between the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. That is on the record. Yeah! In 1971, we went back to the Bahamas again. I took the bowling prize as the best bowler between the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands. Okay? So I was a sportsman. I never play basketball. I know nothing about basketball. If I play basketball with somebody, I hurt them. They go home injured. That was my style. But in cricket, that was my business. So young people, listen to me. I don't want you to think that I forget you, and certainly not the Progressive National Party, because we always realize that the future of this country lies with our youth. We can't forget you. We never can forget you. And so, for you, the young people, we're going to make sure that there is a place in school for you until you reach the height of your goal. There's going to be a scholarship for you. And Dr. Ewing, when he comes, will tell you, because I heard him telling the people in Grand Turk last night about the school system, so I'm not going to get into that because the PNP has a good program and he will explain that to you tonight. But in South Caicos, we want to see a decent basketball place. South Caicos, we have always been winning the basketball championships. We're going to build an indoor stadium for South Caicos basketball players. That is going to be look just like the Gustavus Lightburn Stadium in Providenciales. We're going to do that because South Caicos deserves it. But in addition to that, we want to see a decent athletic field, sports complex in South Caicos where you can run, you can play basketball, you can play cricket, you can play softball and rounders and all those things, because we believe that a healthy body creates a healthy mind. You can't separate the mind from the body. So you have to engage in sports while you deal with the academic side of your brain. You learn. Okay? So the Turks and Caicos, the PNP party knows that the young people are the future of this country. We are going to invest in your education. We're going to make sure that sports facilities are there for you to engage in so that you can develop your skills and become like the Williams boy, Delano, yes, Delano Williams, and all the other, Fulgerson, all these fellas who come back with gold and silver medals, because the talent is in the Turks and Caicos Islands to reach the stars if they put their mind to it. And the PNP is going to go behind you until you reach your goal. Trust us. Trust me. One of my other pet projects was seeing the Regatta Village beautified. I believe the Regatta Village, you know, in recent years we've been having parties in town, public meetings, all sorts of functions have been held at Regatta Village. The Regatta Village is on the sea. That is a beautiful sight. And if any of you have ever had the opportunity to be at the Regatta Village area when the sun is going down, it's a beautiful sight. And it's a pity for that site to go to waste. It's a pity for it to go to waste. And I believe if that area, you know, you have the streets tiled, you have the wall between the road and the sea, beautiful, you know, fixed up nicely. We have gate arches there for the gates, so people can walk in, have nice soft lights in the evening. The town can be beautiful. Fix up the Regatta Village so that in the afternoon, children who want to study can go down there sometimes and study. You got, you know, your system for the internet, so they can go on the internet and use their computers and all that stuff down there. It's a beautiful place, and in the imagination you think about it, South Caicos would have a place that would be the envy of our brothers and sisters in the other islands. That can be fixed up, and the PNP administration is going to do that. I urge you to vote for me so that we can get the PNP to do all these good things for South Caicos.
Full speed ahead.
And then, let me. The fishing industry. The fishing industry is at its lowest at this point in time. It is at its lowest. The government has not provided any money at all for the fishing department to do any studies. They have not provided the impetus for the staff to want to do anything. So we don't know what's happening with count. We don't know what's happening with lobster because no money has been spent to do the necessary studies in this area. And I am telling you that with the PNP government, the fishing industry is going to thrive. We need to put money in the fishing industry so that the necessary studies can be made, the necessary regulations can be enforced to ensure that we always have count, we always have lobster, we always have scale fish, so that the fishermen can continue to make a living, a good living in the fishing industry. And only the PNP is going to do that for you. So you have to vote for the PNP, for you fishermen and South Cakers, if you want to have a future in this fishing industry. The Darden people, you know the Darden people were here. Red Lobster people, you know them. Red Lobster people were here conducting a study to find out how to cause the lobster to grow. Whatever happened in the end of the day would have been the government and the decision of the Turks and Caicos Islands. But people in the interim administration killed that study, and people in South Caicos were making money off of that. There are people have now gone to one of the islands in the South Pacific, and we have lost it, probably lost it forever. There are people who are short-sighted, because if Darden could have made that industry successful, anybody could have been able to do the same thing. Anybody would have been able to do the same thing some point in the future. But the science of that was necessary. Darden was ready to spend millions of dollars to develop and perfect the science. We have lost it. We have lost it because of the short-sightedness of people in the interim administration who killed the industry. So I'm saying you can't support that kind of stuff. You need the PNP government to be there with interest in the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands who have the vision to see far, to know what is good for us, what is not good for us, to show away the bad things and to do the good things for the future of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. And that is one more reason why you have to vote for me and the PNP on the 9th of November. My brothers and sisters, the 9th of November is going to be an important time for us. We have just gone through 3.5 crucial years. We have gone through hell, Mr. Durham said. And Mr. Durham knows. He has been at some of those meetings that many of you have not been to down at the school when the governor come and talking to us like he's talking to little children. Mr. Durham has been one of those who had to put him in his place. But the thing is this, the last 3.5 years, we have gone through hell. We told you that your civil servants have seen their salaries diminished by 10%. You have been laid off. Taxes have gone up. No drugs in the clinic. All the bad things have been happening to us. And we need to restore decency. We need to restore respect for the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. And we can only do that by having an elected government, by having an elected PNP government. Now, I heard a young man the other day. I'm sorry for him and I have to pray for him. I heard him saying that we need the white man to run this country. No black man can run this country. I almost felt as if I could go through the ground. Because if the slaves who died had heard that kind of speech, I believe they would cut that man's hair off. When you go to think that the greatest country in the world, the United States, is run by a black man, and to say that no black man can run this country, the Turks and Caicos Islands, I don't know where that individual can come from. As I say, only prayers can save him. But my brothers and sisters, take it from me. This PNP party, as you can see, we've got doctors, lawyers with QC, and we got 2 lawyers. 3 lawyers? We got 3 lawyers in this party. That's right, I forgot I was overlooking Donahue. We have 3 lawyers in this party. We have people from all walks of life, capable, bankers and all the others, people capable of running this country. You have to put your trust in this PNP on the 9th of November. You have to do it. You cannot put your trust on the other side. The other side was there before, and you know what they did. And so what I am going to ask of you tonight is this, that on your white ballot paper, you're going to have 2 names. Cox Edith, Sanders Norman. Your choice is only one. Sanders Norman with the conch shell, and that's it. Don't even look at the other name. And I've told you before, and I told you now, that Norman Sanders with the PNP is your best choice. You don't have to worry about your future being better, because in no other hands can it be better. It will be better with me and the PNP. And then you're going to be handed a green paper. On that green paper is going to have at least 10 names. Could be 11, could be 12, I don't know. But you can be sure it's going to have at least 10 names. Forget about 5 others. Look only for Dr. Rufus Ewing with the conch shell. Look then for Carlos Simons with the conch shell. Look for C. Washington Mizik with the conch shell. Look for Royal Robinson with the conch shell. Look for Wayne Gallen with the conch shell. Mark your 5 X's and thank God for it. That is what you have to do. Before I go, let me say this. I was interested in knowing what is likely to happen in the other islands. I know what is going to happen in South Caicos. But I was interested because I know the dog is buried in Providenciales. And Saturday before last, I believe, the PDM had a meeting, PNP had a meeting in Akiris district. Somebody told me, say, they were driving up the road because they had to pass the PDM meeting first. And when they saw the crowd, they said, my Lord, their heart dropped. They said, well, PNP probably hardly got any crowd. And when they reached to where the PNP meeting was, they saw 4 times the amount of people they saw at the PDM crowd. And everybody was talking for 2 weeks about that meeting, the PDMs and the PNPs. And the PNPs were very glad. There was a meeting in Grand Turk not too long ago. Oh no, I come tonight. Not too long ago. And Robert Hall was critiquing that those meetings on voices. In fact, I was just outside the radio station when Robert was there. And Robert was saying, well, he went to the PNP meeting and the crowd was good, but when he got to the PDM meeting, he said the crowd was much bigger. Well, last night, Robert was the MC for the meeting that was held in Baxilino in Raxi Swan's district. And Robert said, well, fellas, I told you that when the PDM had the meeting and the PNP had the meeting, the PDM crowd was much bigger. So, well, you can see for yourself tonight. You can see how big this crowd is. The PDM crowd can't touch it. And I saw it for myself. I was in Grand Turk last night, and I saw cars block the road north of the Methodist Church, block the whole square, all the way out to Storm Mizik supermarket on the south side, the whole block. Thousands of people were there to support the PNP. And even if all of them were not PNP, because I don't believe 100% of them were PNP, but the one good thing was that they heard the message. The message was good. They couldn't resist the message. They couldn't leave the message. The message that they heard was that the PNP has the men and women capable of running this country. The PNP is the party. The PNP is the party that is going to turn this country around for betterment from day one, from 10th of November 2012. Yes, I was reminded that one of the candidates was right up front, listening to everything the PNP had, and taking notes. So, my people of South Caicos, you don't have to worry at all. You don't have to think twice about what you're going to do, because your choice should be clear. And there's going to be Norman Sanders on the constituency ballot and those 5 PNPs on the at-large ballot. And that is it for this country to move forward. And I thank you, and God bless you, and I know we are going to win.
Time to start your engine. Start your engine.
A lot of wonderful stuff. Norman said, don't let them fool me. That the young people are our future. And your PNP government will train them well, give them the opportunity. The same opportunity Jamaica had. No matter which party you belong to, as long as you're Turks and Caicos Islanders, our responsibility is to look after you, whether you support us or not. We have the talent, and we're going to make sure that you get the opportunity, but then you must use it well. Some of us are going abroad and do students with the government money. We don't want that to happen in the future. We want you to study hard, do well, and take up your rightful place in the development of our country. Now we're going to call on our deputy party leader to come and share his views with us. And I can ask my wife to send me another bottle of water.
The clock is ticking. Time to start your engine.
Good night, South Caicos. It's always good to be in South Caicos, always. I'm not going to keep you long tonight. I don't need to. You have been faithful to the PNP for 36 years. I know that come November 9, you will be faithful again. And you will vote for Norman Sanders. I will tell you, first of all,
what the PNP leadership will assist Mr. Saunders in delivering for you beginning on November 10th. We will get that airport completed. We will ensure that your hotels are completed and open. We will ensure that the resort on Ambergris Cay becomes functional and is open. We will increase NIB pensions for the elderly. We know that $250 is not a living wage. We intend to ensure that our elderly people live in the dignity that they deserve. And we will fix, instead of scrapping, NHIP. And we will look after your young people, your children. We will ensure that they are educated and that they have sporting facilities and recreational facilities to assist them in developing and maturing into responsible, contributing citizens of this community. For all that, we ask that you vote for Norman Saunders on November 9 and for your 5 at-large candidates. You know who they are. I can report that we had a great rally in Grand Turk South last night. I am mindful that this rally is being carried live on 91.5. And I wish to thank Pastor Donald for that. As I said in Grand Turk last night, it is right that the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands, throughout the Turks and Caicos Islands, know what their political leaders are doing, what they are saying, where they are, and how they are communicating with you, the people. And Pastor Donald has assisted us tremendously in getting that message across. I want to report to the whole of the Turks and Caicos Islands that there are hundreds of people at this rally tonight. And I know that there is fear in the heart of the opposition at these numbers that the PNP are turning out. So I say this. The wind is at our backs. Our sails are full. The course is set. The destination is victory on November 9. And then the calm waters of the harbor called progress and prosperity and stability under a PNP government. To those few PDM supporters still drowning in confusion, we say, here is our hand. Take it. There is room on board. Join us for the dawn of that new day. And to the British, I say this. I say this. These strange and decadent laws that you're passing without reference to the people and in the absence of elected government, we will view very critically. We will put a red line through anything in them that offends our morals and our values. And we will repeal, yes, tear it up. We will repeal any law, including the so-called equality law, under which lurks all sorts of decadence and that threatens debauchery on our young people. I will take it myself on the floor of the House of Assembly and tear it to shreds.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead.
That is what your PNP government will do. That is the protection we will offer. That is the progress we will deliver. Give us your support. 6 votes, each of you. All touchdown on November 9.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead.
And I can also report to the whole country that we are well on the way to securing that 95% of the vote that I asked for when we presented this slate of candidates.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead.
And those 15 seats. 15 seats. That's what I want. God bless you. Good night.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead.
I mean, I'm delighted to see so many PNP people out here tonight. All of South Cape is here. Those people who here can't come. We got to take them back the message. And it's our responsibility to look after each other, especially our children. Give them the opportunity that they need. We're now going to call on Dr. Rufus Ewing, our PNP leader, to come and share his views with us. good night, good night, good night. Good night. It's a great night tonight. Now I'm still a little hoarse from Grand Truck last night because the crowd in Grand Truck last night was rocking. And I'm a little hoarse, and thank God tomorrow is Sunday, at least I can get a little rest on the voice before we start on the road again in Provo on Monday. Monday 5 Gs. I would like to say good night to all my PNPs in the house. I would like to say good night to all the PPPs in the house. In here. I would like to say good night to all the PDMs in the house. And I'd also like to say good night to the PDM candidate from South Caicos, just in case she's here tonight taking notes, like the Grand Truck candidate. But she may not be here because there's no need for her to be here, because I'm sure the British are here taking notes and taking pictures and taking videos and doing it all day. They were doing it all day. So I'm sure they're here and listening. Take notes. Learn how you build a country. Not how to tear it down. You see, sometime earlier, last year, I found myself on the street of Providenciales, protesting. And I had a number of signs on me. One in my hand, my right hand, one in my left hand, one on my back, one on my chest. And there are a number of signs, and these signs were accusing the British administration of a number of crimes to the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. One of them asked for the interim administration to go. One of them asked for the advisory council to resign. One of them asked for the consultative forum to resign. And there were a lot of charges that were levied at their feet. One such charge was unemployment, that was rampant and still rampant. One such charge was increased taxation. One was increase of NHIP fees. One was the reduction in the pension benefit. The other was no scholarships. The next was reduction in the youth department fee by $10,000. The other was the reduction in the public servant salary by 10%. The other was the downsizing of the civil service. The next was the right-sizing of the civil service. The next was the oppressive legislations that were imposed upon us. And the list goes on and on and on. And they were guilty of every single one. And I asked for the governor to resign in the advisory council. But we had some Turks and Caicos Islanders on that forum, on that council, that passed every single one of those laws and rules. And some of those same persons who were guilty as charged now want to represent us here today in government. I say, no way. Hell no. Because that is not the way to build a country. You see, this is how to build a country. We take pride in caring for our children and our youth. All the children in the house, shout out to me please. Wave. All the kids. All the kids. See them there? Those are the ones that we care for. And we do this by ensuring that our kids have good, equal access to high quality education. We ensure that they have access to scholarships. We ensure that we put them in good jobs. We ensure that they can own a business. We ensure that they can own their homes. We empower our people, not oppress them. This is how the PNP government does it. Yeah!
And we will continue to do that for you, the people of South Caicos. Mr. Sanders made some commitments earlier, and I'm not going to go through them at length because all I'm going to tell him is that we got your back, Norman. We got your back as you got the people of South Caicos back because we are going to make them happen. So all of the good things that he mentioned that he's going to do for South Caicos. The airport will finish. The hotels will finish and more will come. The ports will finish and be developed much more than Norman even explained to you. And I'm not going to go there because that's a big project. The roads and the causeways and connecting to the East Caicos and Middle Caicos, that's going to happen. The sporting facilities that your youth in South Caicos are already working on themselves during this British oppression. Those guys who are working on that plan, that's gonna happen. You see, we in the PNP is about progress. We're about making things happen. We don't just put things down on blueprint. You know what you do with blueprints? We don't just put things down on blueprint. We are action-oriented people. We make things happen. Okay? And we are going to do it again. We are back on the road to progress come November 10th, the dawn of that new day, November 10th. We are back on the road to progress. And we are going full speed ahead. We are going to go full speed ahead on the road to progress. We are not going in any reverse direction. We're not going in any PDM direction because they have no direction. You see, we in South Caicos have to realize the good things that the PNP did for you. And I'm not going to go through them again because they were well articulated, because I can't think of one thing that the PDM did. If anybody can think of anything, please let me know. Shout it out loud and clear. The only thing that the PDM did for South Caicos is the thing that isn't nothing. You see, this election is a very important election because the PNP was derailed and taken from government. The British administration came, and we are fighting this election against all odds, and we are still ahead. We are fighting this election against all odds. The PDM against us, the British against us, oh, but they're one and the same, sorry. Same. But they're against us. And all the atrocities and legislation that they're throwing at us. We are running this election against all odds. But we know that we are doing it for the good of our people. And we will continue to fight now, and we'll fight when we get in office come November 10th. We will fight for you because all of those things that they put in place, we have to go there fighting because it is not going to be an easy road ahead. It is not going to be. All of the things that we said we're going to do for you, we are going to do it. But we're going in there with our boxing gloves on. We are going in there to work hard, and we are going there in there to deliver.
Full speed ahead, the doctor, full speed ahead. Full speed ahead, the QC, full speed ahead.
So come November 10th. I want you to vote because you may have some people in here from other constituencies. But I want you to vote for every single candidate, every PNP candidate in your constituency. I want you to vote for the Shell. I want you to vote for Rex and Grand Duck South. I want you to vote for George Lightman and Grand Duck North. I want you to vote for Norman Sanders in South Caicos. I want you to vote for Ricardo Donny Gardner in North Caicos, in Middle Caicos. I want you to vote for Akira Mizik in Leeward. I want you to vote for Portia Stubbs Smith in the Bight. I want you to vote for Manda Mizik in Cheshire Hall in Richmond here. I want you to vote for Gregory Latham in Wheeling. I want you to vote for Adrian Williams in Blue Hills. I want you to vote for Clay Thomas Ewing in Five Keys.
You got it. You got it.
In addition to that single vote that you're putting for those constituency candidates, I want you to vote for each of your large candidates. So you must vote for Carlos Simons QC. You must vote for Washington Music. You must vote for Roy Robinson. You must vote for Wayne Garland. And you must vote for your leader. Your PNP leader. That's the rules we're doing. You see, this election is too important because we were on the road to great things, on the road to progress. And we will be back on the road to progress come November 10th. And please, do the right thing and do not stop the progress.